Have you ever tried writing your bio and suddenly felt like you were describing a LinkedIn robot version of yourself? Or opened Canva to make on-brand graphics and ended up with something that looked like a Pinterest board mid-crash out? Yeah, same. Branding yourself is one of those things that everyone says you have to do, especially if you're a creator, an artist, or someone trying to stand out online. But most of the advice out there makes you feel like you need to become a watered down version of yourself. Professional, polished, predictable. So how do you brand yourself without feeling fake? That's what we're getting into today. Hey friends, I'm Ana The Marketeer, your friendly neighborhood marketing bestie. I break down the branding and marketing strategies shaping pop culture so we can learn from them together. And today, I'm going to break down why authenticity became one of the most powerful currencies in branding, where most people get it wrong, and then I'll give you my 5-step framework to brand yourself in a way that actually feels like you. But before we get started, it's come to my attention that most of you watching my videos aren't subscribed to my channel. Do not be rude. If you've been enjoying learning about branding and marketing with me, hit that subscribe button right now so you can see new videos every week. And my brand new newsletter, Marketeer's Memo, is coming soon. I'll be breaking down pop culture branding and marketing tactics as they happen in real time, showing you how they shape the current world around us. So please join the waitlist now by clicking the description below. And you can also listen to these videos on the go on Spotify. The link is in the bio. Okay, let's get into it. Why authenticity actually matters. Let's start with this word that gets thrown around constantly: authenticity. In 2025, authenticity isn't just a buzzword, it's a brand strategy. People are over the perfectly curated, overly filtered, super polished versions of content. Gen Z led the charge, but honestly, millennials are right there with them. The rise of TikTok proves something major. Real, raw, and relatable wins. We're in an era where Emma Chamberlain's awkward silences and people like Jack Black's chaotic energy feel more trustworthy than a 45-minute TED Talk from some dude in a blazer. Even celebrities are leaning into this. Doja Cat posts bizarre, no-context photos and unhinged tweets, and somehow it works. Why? Because she's not pretending to be anyone else. The psychology here is simple. We connect with people, not perfection. Your brand doesn't have to be shiny. It needs to be consistent, clear, and rooted in who you actually are. That's what builds trust. And trust, that's the foundation of every successful brand, where most people get branding wrong. So let's talk about what not to do. Here's where most creators mess up when trying to brand themselves. They start with aesthetic instead of identity. They're choosing color palettes before they even know what their message is. They write a bio that sounds good to other people, but not to themselves. Or worse, they try to sound like everyone else who's already successful. Totally know the vibe. Like, for an example, helping passionate creatives unlock their full potential through authentic, story-driven content that converts. Girl, what does that even mean? Branding isn't a Mad Libs template. If it doesn't sound like you, people will notice. And another common trap, waiting to be ready. They spend months thinking their brand needs to be perfect before they post anything. Meanwhile, the creators who are showing up messy but consistent are building communities. Take Billie Eilish. Her brand has changed dramatically from 2019 to now, but her vibe, that mix of detached coolness and vulnerability, has always been there. People didn't follow her because she had a polished aesthetic. They followed her because they felt something. Mr. Beast, same thing. His tone, pacing, and personality have been consistent from his early chaotic days to now. You know what you're getting. And I'm curious to know, what are some other examples of authentic branding for celebs or influencers that come to mind for you? Leave a comment below. Basically, branding isn't about locking yourself into one version of your identity. It's about having clarity as you evolve. The 5-step framework for authentic branding. Okay, now let's get into the good stuff. Here is my 5-step framework for building a personal brand that doesn't feel fake. Because it's not. It's just an intentional version of you. Step 1, define your brand pillars. Start by choosing 3 to 4 core themes that you naturally gravitate toward. These are the topics you're always talking about with friends, posting about online, or building your work around. For example, if you're a musician who loves vintage fashion, mental health, and storytelling, That's your triangle. Start there. These themes become the backbone of your content and brand vibe. Step 2. Pick a tone you can stick with. Think of your tone like your voice. Are you funny, direct, nerdy, chill, a little chaotic? The key here is choosing a tone that you naturally speak in. Don't force boss babe, hustle culture energy if you're more of a dry humor kind of person. If you're witty and unfiltered like Z-Way, lean into that. If you're more heartfelt and poetic like SZA, that's your gold. A great brand sounds the same across posts, captions, emails, videos, because it's always you talking. Step 3. Choose visuals that match your energy. You don't need a professional designer or 30-slide brand guideline. You just need visual consistency that reflects your vibe. Here is a fun exercise. If your brand were a movie studio, would it be a A24, Marvel, Disney Channel original movie, or maybe your aesthetic lives on Tumblr 2014 or early 2000s Bratz core? Think references, not rules. And remember, people remember vibe more than hex code. Step 4, story is your superpower. Your story is your brand glue. Share your why, your origin story, your failures, your awkward phases, your here's what I've learned moments. People don't connect to content, they connect to narratives. Look at Issa Rae, one of my favorite celebrities. Her whole career started by documenting her experiences as an awkward Black girl. That story became her brand. Now, it's a whole empire. You don't need a full-blown life memoir, but you do need to let people see the real you. Step 5, create a content ritual. This is where it becomes sustainable. Instead of posting when you feel inspired, build rituals that work with your life. Batch record TikToks once a week. Write a newsletter every Friday. Post a behind-the-scenes photo every time you're in the studio. The trick? Show up as yourself consistently. That's how branding becomes second nature. The branding trap to avoid. Here's your reminder that branding should not feel like a job interview. If your brand feels like something you have to put on before you post, it's not aligned. The biggest trap? The polished persona trap. The more you filter, the more you flatten your personality. Aesthetics matter, but if they're hiding the real you, it's a no. You can be professional and chaotic. You can be educational and goofy. Your brand should reflect the full range of who you are. How to know if your brand is working. Okay, so how do you know if it's working? Simple. People start saying, I feel like I know you. They repeat your catchphrases, your language, your tone. You get messages that say, you're the reason I started blank. You feel energized creating content, not drained. Your brand is working when it feels like a mirror, not a mask. So here's the truth. Branding yourself isn't about being fake. It's about being clear. The clearer you are about who you are, what you care about, and how you show up, the easier it becomes for the right audience to find you, connect with you, and stick around. Your brand should grow with you, not box you in. So if you've ever felt stuck trying to brand yourself, I hope this helped you feel unstuck. If it did, let me know which step hit hardest in the comments. And don't forget, of course, to like, subscribe, and share this with your favorite chaotic creative who's still stuck trying to pick a color palette. Until next time, marketeers, stay curious, stay weird, and most importantly, stay real.